Hey, good morning. We're going to do, this is Orvieto, Italy. Beautiful little village we visited. I did a workshop there a few years ago. All right, I'm going to pop the sky in. The sky is just a little Windsor blue, phthalo blue. All right, just nice and light, nice and bright. All right, we have the bright side of the square is going to be raw sienna, basically. It's very bright, so I'm starting with raw sienna, and I added a tiny drop of Ovieto yellow as well. I want to get that nice and bright. Okay, plenty of color. Just paint the whole shape. That's it. Just put it all in. This is the bright side of our little village. All right, I'm going to put the. This is raw sienna as well. I'm just painting the whole shape basically. We're going to get much darker over here, as you know. This is the shadow side, but I want to get the underpainting in, which is very warm and strong color. A little quin sienna there. It's going to get very dark. That's the light building is turning around the corner there. All the buildings go up and around that corner, so a little narrow street. All right, I'm going to put in a little detail up top there on the tower. Some beautiful architecture. So I'm just placing the shape of the details, and I'm going to soften that. Some small little architectural details in there. And just soften those edges. I missed the clock here. I forgot about the clock, so I'm going to go back and paint that in with a little gouache at the end. So yeah, so I make mistakes. I make them by the dozen. A little more detail. There's a little see-through there up top. All part of that. All part of that tower. Just softening that edges. And there's not much up there really. Like these overhang things are really nice. They're very strong. So I'm just going to place the paint right now under there, then I'll go in and soften all these edges up, but these are very dark overhangs. There's no light at all. They're warm. They're very warm. They're not black. So this is quin sienna, a little ultramarine blue, but they're very warm. So you're pushing them towards the quin sienna. So I'm just placing the paint right now, placing that heavy paint. I'll go in and there's a shadow cast down underneath there, so there it is. I'm just going to Just going to soften those edges and let the shadow come down. That's just basically water. I'm just mixing water with the dark paint that I placed up there. So that's giving us a cast shadow down on the buildings. And on the right here in front of us is a shadow cast from the building in front, but it's just all, you hardly see that when we're done. But okay, so that's a nice roof line. It leads us right down into the tower. Notice that all the roof lines are coming down and all the street lines are going up, so it's leading us right up to the people. I'm just going to pop in a bunch of windows here. It's all the same color, very warm. You can use raw sienna, quin sienna. They're not too dark, but they are on the warm side. So keep that. There's some doorways down below. They get a little stronger, a little darker as they come forward. There's a shutter here. Okay, that's a shutter hanging off. The other side of that window has the other shutter, and that casts a little shadow. All right, let's get into this side. All right, this is very warm. This is quin sienna, and I added some ultramarine to it, bring it down a little bit, but I want to keep that nice warm base there. You can see that. So just paint the shape in. Just paint the whole shape nice and dark. Yeah. Plenty of pigment there. Plenty of pigment. Nice and warm. Keep it nice and warm because that's the base color. That's all going to come through. That's the side of the building. Overhang. That's the building as it turns the corner. It's much lighter back there, so I'm going to give it a spray to lighten it up, but I just want to get the shape in right now. Okay, and we have this beautiful dark shadow of the buildings, and there's a space in between the buildings that casts that. It's nice. It gives us the turn. These buildings are turning around the corner here, so we'll just paint that whole shape in. I added some ultramarine blue on the shadow there. You can see that. This is just a dark shadow that I'm placing right in front of us. It's part of the building, but it'll end up being a doorway, maybe a bush. All right, I'm just lifting out some windows here with a damp brush. Strengthening that overhang. This is just quin sienna with ultramarine blue. That's the overhang on the buildings. They're very, very dark. Just let it rip. You can't put too much color here, but you want to keep it warm. You don't want to get too black with it because it'll just be very dull and when it dries. So you want to keep it. The warmth gives you a beautiful reflective light, which is what you're looking for here. Okay, just lifting out a few architectural indications down there, windows, doors, whatever. All right, on the right here we have a few planters. It's nice because it gives us a little a little activity to break up that big shape with some green, add a little color in there. So we have some trees growing, and they're sort of pushed in the doorways, but they're on these big pots. The pots are cadmium red with raw sienna and a little tiny touch of white. Okay, so there's the tree. This is cobalt blue and Aurelian yellow to get that green. And you can see on the right of the tree, it's sitting inside the doorway, so there's kind of a straight edge to it. Okay, so we have a few trees there. They're darker on the inside. It's nice, and it breaks up all that base color. Little trim on the roof. Just putting a few birds up there. There's a nice balcony on this side. Oh, that's nice. It adds to the architectural detail of the building. It helps to break up that big shape. I don't make them too prominent. I just want them to be seen and to add a little detail to it. But it's all good. Right, there's some kind of sign here hanging off a pole. It's the fun part of this. You can add all these little details. There's a doorway in the midst of all that. Alright, I'm going to put a few figures in now. You look at the doorways and you can see where they are in relation to, to the doorways, the height of them. And there's a bunch of figures. This is a very busy square. People walking up and down. Shopping. The number one thing. People love to shop. Right, on this side we have a woman standing in the light, so she's going to be much brighter. She's got a white shirt on. Little shadow. More figures. Figures add, they add life to the painting. It's so much fun to pop in, so put a bunch of them in. They're off in a distance. We have some up front here that are right in front of us. Right, they're in the shadow, so they're very dark. But you can see, we made that dark shape that looked like a bush there, and it looked almost black, but now we're putting figures, so it's like you can't get dark enough. The more you put in there, darker. You can always get darker. Alright, so there's a couple of figures right in front of us, and I think what I'll do is make this figure red, with a red jacket on. It's always nice because it brings the whole painting forward. Puts a lot of life into the painting. Okay, so I think we have a painting here. They're a lot of fun. These village scenes are always fun, where you have the dark on one side, the light on the other. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned a few things. And I hope you're being safe, keeping safe and sound, and I hope we can be together real soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and follow. See you soon.